Hello everybody and welcome back for more Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen, for the worst, the hardest level there's gonna be? Welcome to Grunty Industries! And so, let's go ahead and tackle this huge-ass factory over the... Wait, the main entrance is closed? Is it closed? Really? We can't go in? Oh, okay, well I guess it turns out we don't have to do this level then. Okay, cool, we can just move on to the next level. Okay, no, I'm just can't, god damn it. Alright, so, yeah, there's gonna be a way in. Ow, you dick! But anyway, so yeah, this is Grunty Industries, and of course, you know, I'm just gonna go say it right now. This place. Ugh. I mean, I don't know which one is probably worse. I mean, people would say it's kind of like the Rusty Bucket Bay of this game, but, I mean, they're two different things for one thing, though, because Rusty Bucket Bay, well, at least if you're playing, the original Banjo-Kazooie on the N64, is that, especially the engine room, the goddamn engine room, where, it's very notorious where, where you get hit by the power blades, and then there's knockbacks that you have to get, and with the light system, and of course, you're playing the original N64 version, you had to do the whole collectathon of music notes all over again, because of the whole scoring system. To be fair, though, in Grunty Industries, at least in this game, it doesn't really have the whole scoring system, though. So, I mean, at least the collectibles are permanent, though. So, maybe it's a little more tolerable, for one thing. But this is actually the one level where, it's very complex. It's very labyrinth-like, and, a lot of people tend to get lost. And especially if you're just going after all the collectibles. And, you're going to be in here for quite a long time. So, anyway, so what we saw is that the main entrance is closed, and so we had to find a way to get in there. So, there's actually one way we have to get in, so that we have to go over to the side here, and we see the train switch. We have early access to that train switch right here, so just go ahead and step on that, and then as long as you have Chuffy open. As a matter of fact, this is actually one of those things where, having to defeat Old King Cole actually is required to get into Grunty Industries, and for that matter, I guess, it's actually required to beat the game as well. Because, if you ever want to use a train, you had to defeat Old King Cole and Glitter Ultramite first, so that way there. It's actually the only way to get into Grunty Industries, so yeah, you have to, that's what you have to do to get in there, just by using train to get into the level itself. I'll go over the enemies a bit here, though, because, because we're about to leave this level first. It's actually, a very rare instance, where you just had to leave the level and go to the other one, or previous one at least, and so I just had to gain access to it. So yeah, in this case, we're back in Pterodactyl Land to use the train station there, because that's the place where I last used it. And this motherfucker is being very persistent. He's constantly chasing after me. Like, get the hell away from me. But yeah, it's not every day that you have to go back to a previous level and just have to get into the next level just because the main entrance is closed. So. But yeah, so yeah, that's what you have to do. Just unlock the train station first, and then that way there you'll go ahead and get inside there. That's like the only way to actually get in. And then that way there you can actually just be able to get to the whole level. But we are gonna be focusing on get the main entrance to be open first. So we're gonna do that first. All right. So yep, now we're inside. So now basically, Grunty Industries, like, you're going to be spending a lot of time in the inside of the building because the factory itself, like, for one thing, it's a factory level, and it is huge. It is fucking huge. Like, there's so many floors. There's actually 5 floors in total, and it's very much maze-like. So yeah, you're going to be in here for quite a long time, but, that's where a lot of the collectibles will be in. That you'll be doing in this building. But, yeah, basically what it is, it's a factory level, and, and for one thing, the whole theme of the factory level is that it's supposed to be an industrial toxic waste kind of a plant, where you'll be dealing with a lot of the toxic barrels there. Did I even mention that we were outside trying to find the train switch, and on those toxic barrels I was trying to land on, there was no drop shadow at all. Like for some reason they didn't even include Banjo-Kazooie's drop shadow, so you have to hope for the best to actually land on there. Otherwise, you don't want to get into that toxic sludge that's in there, which of course you'll be chomped by that Druganda. And yeah, there's that empty honeycomb piece up there, so you want to make sure to grab that for just right first. There we go. But yeah, you'll be spending a lot of time being inside the building here. Alert! Intruders detected. Activate the tin tops. All right, so this is actually one of the major annoying things about this whole place. These here are the tin tops, and so whenever you're in an area where you'll see there's that surveillance cam that's up there. It actually has a different name for it though. They're called the spy eye cams. So if you see the spy cam in a room, they will actually detect Banjo-Kazooie's presence. And, you know, they'll that alarm sound will go off, and then the tin tops. So the tin tops are basically like those drone enemies where they will relentlessly chase after you, and they will try to attack you just by shocking at you. So you want to be careful with them as well. And then there's these enemies right here with these worker outfits. Go like, hi! Those are called governors, and they're pretty easy to kill, though, just by using the forward roll. So that's about it. And then we have another new move for us. These are claw clamber boots. They're the they're the next shoe-based kind of abilities that they'll get here. So those will be all the shoe-based moves out of those two. So we have every single one of those. There's like 4 of them in total. First 2 being a Banjo-Kazooie, of course. With the claw clamber boots, if you ever see those footprints on the walls, then Kazooie with those on, it has those plungers down at the bottom of the on the soles. Then Kazooie will actually be able to climb up those walls with those footprints that are placed on there. So you can actually just be able to get up to some areas that you wouldn't otherwise reach just by going up there, and then, yeah, that's about it. Alright, so go ahead and open up the main entrance right here. And so now we have free access to get, like, you know, just basically getting in and out of the building. And then that's pretty much where the main quest for the whole factory is. Yeah, there we go. There's a main entrance warpad here, so at least we got that activated. And now the next thing we're going to do is that, so what we saw before up there, we saw those little bouncing green batteries up there. Those are the Bazas, and they're basically the batteries that you had to just to pick up here. You want to be careful not to touch them though, because they will shock you and you will take damage from them. So what you want to do is that if you play as Banjo alone, and you have to hit them with the pack whack first, and then you just stuff them in the backpack with using the taxi pack ability. And then what you do is that you just carry the battery over to the thing. Oh yeah, watch this. So I use this skill stop honeycomb. Whoa! Oh, God damn it! No. I was trying to get to the top there, and then look what happened. It got to the very last unit of the honeycomb. Oh, the very last one. God fucking damn it. Why? Fuck me. So yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, complete accident, went down to the last honeycomb right there. So I had to be very careful. Hope to God I don't get hit there, but luckily I don't. I have to keep a good distance for the enemies at least. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So if you ever see those batteries and you carry them over to those little shoes that light up, that means that some machines or some certain doors will need batteries to get them open. Otherwise, it'd be closed. So just bring the battery over and then release them from the backpack, and then once they're in, then they'll just power up whatever machine that is in there, and then it'll open up new pathways here. And this is the basement waste disposal plant, and another new move for us. And this is another Banjo exclusive move. This is the snooze pack, and oh man, I love the snooze pack in this one because what it is, it's a health regeneration move. And, you know, normally I actually be able to use it here just to heal myself up. But lately, though, Janjar actually heals you right up. Like, you know, just learn a move or you just talk to him, then he'll heal you back up. So at least I lucked out on that one, though. But yeah, what it is, you know, if you press and hold Z and then the left C button, then the Banjo will actually just go, you know, take a nap, and then he'll recover and just and then he can actually just be able to restore his full health. It's, you know, basically a health regeneration kind of move. And it's definitely one of the best moves in the game, too, because, you know, so that way there, oh, okay, I don't know why I actually just, you know, make kind of short fall damage there. But yeah, this is such a damn good move because of it. You know, you'd be able to heal, and especially, you know, after you split up, then you lose some of your you do lose some of your health, but you can always just regenerate yourself just by using the snooze pack. And there will be some instances where you can take heavy damage, but then you can just be able to regenerate just by having Banjo take a nap. So it's such a great move, and, you know, I really do love it so much. So, but yeah, you'll be wanting to use it quite a lot here, especially, you know, if you take damage here, just like that. And there we go. And a couple new enemies go over as well that I haven't gone to. So, so those little barrels that we saw, the regular ones, those are called clangs, and they're pretty tough. They have they're pretty high in defense too. So you want to, so even with the rat attack wraps, then you know, they just get pushed back, and then you just have to hit them twice to actually defeat them. And then the other ones that has the toxic waste on them, those are called toxic clangs. And then what they'll do is that they actually release these little toxic gas enemies. They're called the toxic gags, and they'll actually relentlessly chase after you as well. And if they go right into you, then your air meter will come up, but then they'll actually it actually drains your air meter faster. So you want to make sure to just hurry in and get away from them before your air meter runs out. Although the one thing that has changed from Banjo-Kazooie is that when your air meter does run out, then you actually gradually lose your honeycombs too. So it's not like in Banjo-Kazooie where you lose your air meter, then you actually drown instantaneously right after that. So that's how they change here. So this here is a trash compactor, and so what it is that this is actually where this news pack comes into play, where we're gonna go in there, go in the zone here, and then the trash compactor will actually squish Banjo's head all the way down to just one honeycomb. And then when that happens, then just use the snooze pack, and then you'll be able to regenerate all your health. So, so yeah, it's very much useful like that. So you'll make sure to get it first before you actually go into the trash compactor. And then after stepping that switch there, and then there's a Jiggy. By the way, folks, I only get one Jiggy in this game because you know, one thing I do want to say though is that you can see that this video is just about a half-hour long, and so because of how complex Grunty Industries is, I actually do spend quite a lot of time in here. And what I decided to do is just, you know, just basically like, you know, record 30 minutes of video footage there, and you know, whichever stuff that you know I kind of get lost in or I fuck up on, then I can just edit them out, because you know, at least, you know, this being post commentary, then I can just edit out any of the stuff that in which I actually mess up on. So yeah. But yeah, that's basically what it is. Is that, you know, I just went and recorded like 30 minutes of gameplay footage, and you know, just go through as much as I can, because there will be a bit of wandering around here, because there's going to be like quite a bit of effort to get collectibles, namely Jiggies. But there's going to be like, you know, quite a bit of a chore that he had to do to get through this level and just get the Jiggies there. So yeah, there's going to be a bit of wandering around here or here and there, because you know, it's kind of hard to just figure out where it is or where everything is there. Also, if you look at the fridge, there's a lot of logos here. We have the Banjo-Tooie logo, we have the DK logo, or Donkey Kong, and we also have the Rareware logo, and also Jeff Force Gemini and Perfect Dark. Look at the state of my overalls. I'll be in real trouble if I can't find a way of getting them clean. This factory doesn't have any utility watches here, and like, why are you being all sad about dirty clothes? I mean, it tends to happen if you're in industrial areas. Oh, there's also a picture of Humble Wumba. You can see that her dress is red. That's because that was the original coloration of what it was going to be in the beta version of Banjo-Tooie. Before it was changed for yellow into yellow in the final version. And also, nobody knows about this here, so you can actually just bust through, and then as you read the sign, and a nice little view of some Humble Wumba titties there. So yeah, you pay attention to the dialogue instead of just, you know, staring at those Humble Wumba tits there. Anyway, so but yeah, that was what she was originally going to look like in the beta design of or in the beta Banjo-Tooie before they changed to yellow. So it's a nice little Easter egg that we have here. That's what I like about this game. So so what you can do is that those tin tops, if they keep chasing after you, you can just hit them with the grenade eggs, and also you can also hit those surveillance cams also with the grenade eggs, and so that way you can actually be safe for now. And I say for now because keep in mind these surveillance cams, they do respawn as well, so you have to be quick as well. So it's kind of bullshit, honestly. And we go to the bathroom here. Oh, a familiar face. Hey there, Banjo. Lago, what are you doing here? Well, Grunty ripped me out of her mansion and stuck me in here. Boy, you should see the mess some of those workers make. I don't want to know. Anyway, someone thought it funny to fill me full of paper. I really need unblocking, if you wouldn't mind. We do, actually. Yeah, I can't believe we're there. But yeah, that's Lago from Banjo-Kazooie. You remember him, right? I'm all blocked up. Help! Then call a plumber. I think Mario is free at the moment. I don't think he actually does that kind of work anymore. Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, when has Mario ever done any plumbing? Oh, wait, actually, there was, you know, maybe that's something in Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. So yeah, Lago the Toilet from Banjo-Kazooie, if you remember him. And also I had to show this one off, or show that one off here, where you talk to him again. And so, yeah, there's the Mario reference that that Kazooie would make here, so I figured I'd just go and show it off. So, so what we have to do is that, you basically just have to unclog the, you have to unclog Lago here. You can actually just build your end of it there, and I actually feel bad for Kazooie because of it, because of having to, see all the shit, literally, that she had to see here. Oh yeah, Kazooie's definitely seen some shit, very much so. But yeah, once you do that, then you get the Cheeto page from him, and just coming right out of Lago. Like, it's probably covered in shit. Gross. But you can either do that, or you can actually use a grenade egg for that as well. But you do take damage from that for that also. So I would say just use a build drill just by doing some actual unclogging. But yeah, so if you remember that back in Banjo-Kazooie, Lago's purpose was that it was originally in a Mad Monster Mansion, which is also Grunty's mansion. Where you can only go into the toilet, or basically in the septic tank, to as a pumpkin banjo. But yeah, he actually does come back in here and in this game as well. So yeah, his only purpose is just basically he was just moved over to this level here. So, but anyways, so yeah, what I'm gonna do here in this level is that not only just spending or doing 30 minutes of gameplay footage, but also I'm basically just gonna be climbing up the factory just by going from floor to floor. So now we're here on floor 2. And, basically I would try to, get as much as I can as regular Banjo-Kazooie, and, just get as much as collectibles from, for each floor. And, just basically climb out of the factory. So, so that's basically all there is going to be here. And, yeah, I instinctively just say try using Rat-Tab-Rat, but you're actually supposed to hit this grating with a grenade egg, so... but yeah, that's all I'm gonna do here is just basically climb the factory and just see as much as I get until 30 minutes is up, because that's all I'm gonna do. It's the only thing I can do though, because because of how complex this whole level is, and there's gonna be a lot going on here too. So I know I did say beforehand that my aim for this Let's Play is just get the jiggies or the collectibles in an organized fashion, and that's actually and I've been doing pretty good on that one as well for all the previous levels here. And that's kind of the one thing I did not count on for, going into Grunty Industries is, just try to, try as much as I can to still get the jiggies in an organized fashion here, where, the first 2 videos would just be, going like the first half the jiggies and then the other half the jiggies for what I can get. And then the last video in the level is just saying, just having is the, where I fight the boss of the level, basically just saving the boss for last. So, yeah, because of that, then, I try to go as organized as I possibly could, though, but I know later on in this game, or later levels at least, we'll probably just try to, try to prove me wrong, and, just try to challenge myself as, for this Let's Play. And, if I was playing this game normally, though, then maybe it wouldn't be too bad, though, but since I'm doing this for a Let's Play, then, it's definitely a nightmare to do, so, yeah, it's having to go all the back and forth here and just make sure I would have to get everything here, especially if I'm doing 100% completion of this game, and just make sure I get everything there. And I have a checklist with me because I always have a checklist on standby for the collectibles to get, and make sure that I would have to just mark off whichever stuff I've already gotten, and just make sure to whenever I get the collectibles, and I just cross those off. So. Yeah, that's one thing I do for this Let's Play, just have a checklist on standby, and, just going after everything, and so, and don't get me wrong, though, I still do love this game. It's still, it's still one of my favorite games of all time, of course. I just know, having to do a Let's Play of it could be a nightmare to do, though, and, and especially since, once I eventually do get to Donkey Kong 64, which will be, part of a marathon, of course, and, I know it's definitely a very absurd, very insane kind of game if you're, just going after all the tons and tons of collectibles that the game has. And so, you know, and I guess it wouldn't be too bad. Oh, yes, I have fucked up here, so I just had to edit this one out because, you know, I just didn't want to waste anybody's time. So, just having to get all the notes here. But yeah, once I, you know, having to play Donkey Kong 64, and I guess, you know, just playing the game normally, and, you know, wouldn't be too bad, though, but, you know, but, you know, yes, of course, it is confirmed that I will eventually get to doing Donkey Kong 64 for the Let's Play, and yes, it'll be 100%, or, well, 101% completion in that case. Oh, yeah, and that's actually what happens if the toxic gags actually go after you, but yeah, there will be 101% completion, though, and let me tell you, just, you know, in the scope of a Let's Play of that game, it is going to be a nightmare. And it'll be a nightmare, though. Now, Gray, I mean, you know, I don't necessarily hate the game, though. I mean, I still don't. And, you know, I know the game is definitely one of those divisive games. But, you know, if I'm doing a Let's Play of the game, though, then, yeah, it'll definitely be a nightmare, so wish me luck. So, but it's not going to be the next game to do, though. I mean, you know, I already have another game that's already planned, though, but that's gonna be, like, you know, much later, though. So yeah, hopefully you guys will get ready for that, and it could just be a milestone celebration too. So anyway, so there's a Jinjo that's gonna be in that inside that door where that alcove is. And one thing I'm gonna do first and foremost, though, is that you know, before I actually get to that Jinjo, we're gonna need Kazooie to get up there because well, you know, because Banjo needs to step on the switch because it's one of those switches where it has to be kept pressed, though, and if you let it go, then they'll get released. So what I wanted to do first is that you know, there's another jam jar attached, but this next move is actually a Kazooie exclusive move. So we're gonna go over there, and this is actually the one move that I feel like it should have been one of Kazooie's natural abilities, and she should have gone right off the bat. This is a leg spring. It's basically Kazooie's backflip jump here, just like, you know, Banjo-Kazooie themselves already have, though. And for some reason, Kazooie doesn't get it herself as soon as you get the split-up ability. So, like, I don't know why she doesn't get this right at the start, though, that we have to wait until a couple levels later for Kazooie to learn this one. What it is basically the flat flip jump, so you just press and hold Z and then press the A button for Kazooie to get a higher boost. It's very much useful, you know, since Kazooie is very much of a lightweight and much more agile than Banjo is, and so Kazooie will actually be able to go higher here. So we're gonna go ahead and use that to get that the Jinjo that's already calling for us. That's in the alcove, just right over there. You know, it's, you know, just waiting very desperately to be picked up. But there we go. And one more green Jinjo to go before we complete the green Jinjo family. Also, one thing I want to say, though, is that, you know, aesthetically speaking, for Grunty Industries, is that each of the floors have their own kind of colors. So, like, let's say, for instance, floor 1 is blue, floor 2 is green, and then floor 3 is yellow, and then floor 4 is going to be purple, and then floor 5, it doesn't really have its own kind of color per se, though. It's actually its own kind of special thing, but it doesn't really feel like a floor, though. But yeah, that's basically, you know, one thing to keep in mind for those floors. So yeah, just basically go by the colorations of each of the floors. There's like different ways, or, you know, multiple ways to actually get to different floors. There's the warp pads. There's also the elevator shafts that you can get into as well, and just climb through the elevator shaft. And there's also the service elevator, but we can't really get in as regular Banjo-Kazooie. We have to. It actually takes a special transformation to get in there. And so let's go in there and then pick up that black Jinjo, or whichever kind of color Jinjo that there is. Basically, a Jinjo will be in there, but, you know, it can always be a different color. So, you know, like I said, folks, the Jinjo colors are always going to be randomized. So if you, so it's not gonna be like in my case where it'll be the black Jinjo. It could be a different color. So yeah, so it's, you know, one thing to still keep in mind. Oh man, just about 24 minutes into this video, and yeah. Yeah, just jumping ahead here. Yeah, I only managed to get one Jiggy in this level. Just one Jiggy. Well, at least in this video. And I haven't even gotten the other Jiggies at all. So, like, you know, because normally in the other levels, I would have just gotten the, you know, for the normal kind of layout for the videos, that I would have just gotten at least, you know, the first half of the Jiggies of what I can get first. And then the other half as well. But Grunty Industries is actually a special case, though, because of how much of a labyrinth this whole damn level is. Because, you know, because I decided to make it where, you know, so recording 30 minutes of video footage and, you know, just getting as much of the collectibles as I can get until the 30-minute threshold is up. And, you know, and because of that, I only managed to get 1 Jiggy, so, but the other thing about it is, though, is that there's at least, I think there's like 3 more Jiggies in which you can't really access normally. Well, there's actually that 1 Jiggy they actually can have early access to, but you have to have, you know, some sequence breaking to actually do so, and that'll actually get into once we do one of those backtracking videos. Because I actually do want to show it off the legit way and not really do any sequence breaking per se, though, because that's kind of the thing that I like to do for my let's plays. Those that, you know, even with some collectibles or some quests they have to do, in which you actually can get to early with some sequence breaking. Those ones I tend not to do, though, because, you know, I just don't want to do so. I'd rather just show them off the legit way. So that's kind of what the thing about it is here. And yes, you want to make sure to open this door here for a shortcut to get here. And actually, as a matter of fact, you are definitely going to need to open up that door because of that one certain Jiggy quest that it wants to do, and that actually involves those skivvy workers here. But yeah, those rabbit characters, they're known as skivvies. Yeah, basically, you know, as we already know about their whole predicament is that their overalls are dirty, and so we have to find a way to get them clean. Which we're all sad about because, you know, I mean, you know, if my clothes were to get dirty, you know, that's actually a given, though, because you know, if you're actually, you know, working somewhere, and, you know, you have this uniform, and especially to those of you who are working some very, you know, dirty jobs, like, let's say, landscaping or constructions, and those kind of workloads, you know, your clothes will get dirty. And also, hi, Tibbets, playing Animal Crossing New Horizons again. Anyways, so yeah, if you're, like, you know, working anything industrial that involves getting your clothes dirty, you know, a lot of workers like them are very much used to that kind of stuff, though, because, you know, because, you know, they already know that's what's going to happen. And, you know, it's to be expected because your clothes will get dirty. And, you know, it shouldn't really be any big deal, though, because that's to be expected because of how, you know, how dirty the job can be. Because, you know, a lot of jobs have dirty sides. And so, whenever you're done for the day, you know, if your clothes get dirty, you know, just throw them in the laundry, and that's about it. That's all she wrote. Your clothes are going to get clean no matter what. It's happened to me quite a lot of times, though. I mean, I didn't really work a lot of complex dirty jobs per se, but those retail jobs I worked at, like, let's say Publix. You know, when I worked at Publix, I worked at the front end where, you know, where we would close, and, you know, there was a cleaning they had to do, and, you know, having to use those scrub machines, where basically they would have us to do, like, janitorial services, you know, only after the store closes, and, you know, and having to, you know, clean out the scrub machine where you know, just draining out the dirty water, and, you know, sometimes your clothes would get dirty, though, but, you know, I expect that to happen, though, and, you know, I would still wash my uniform for that, though, so that's actually so that's just about it, though, and, you know, what a time that was, right? But, you know, that's kind of what it is. So you know, it could even happen to retail where if you where you just do some cleaning and all that. But yeah, if you guys have worked in those kind of situations before, and or actually are currently, and, you know, having to do dirty clothes there, then, you know, that's to be expected, though. Anyway, so another thing about this level is that if you see those pads and you see those screws, if you use a build drill on them, you can actually unscrew them, and then something will happen here. So, like, some new platforms will actually drop down. In this case, we have a mumbo pad. That one I'm going to use later, though, because I'm actually going to save it for last for something, though. But yeah, we actually just made it over to floor 3, and you know, there's also the boiler plant, which we'll get to later on. And also new enemies I haven't gone over yet, though. Those nuts and bolts. Oh God, nuts and bolts. Oh jeez, they're every attack. We have wash-ups, the washer enemies, and the nuttas, which are the hex nuts, and the boltoids, which are those bolt enemies. Oh god, the nuts and bolts are attacking us. They're gonna make me our game, aren't they? But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this off here. So, you know, 30 minutes up though. So next time, let's play Banjo-Tooie. We're gonna go through more of the complexity of this factory and try to get more collectibles, even the Jiggy. So I will see you guys next time.